and thank you for watching. Now I'm going to go little bit into my professional bachelor in software development, where I will be developing some tests here for my first course homework in testing. I've already sneak peeked or made some things from home. I'm not that familiar with the Python, I have to say, or at least writing some tests in it, and also writing classes. I've used a lot of AI generated code, and I've been out of school a lot. So getting back to this is very exciting. So here I'm trying to build a calculator, and that is one of the excitements here. So to build with operations for summing, for addition, for subtracting, for multiplying, and for dividing, as you see here. So I have tried to generate a class with the calculator, and then I've tried to have some variables or attributes here. And I know this kind of pattern from Java, from object-oriented programming. So I tried to, or at least Java. So I tried to generate some attributes here with two numbers, and then I have put these into a frozen set I discovered using ChatGPT. That this is, I used that to learn these different operations and these different structures. So frozen set can be an immutable set. So you cannot change these from anywhere, but just writing this code or just doing this. So in this class, I'm instantiating it, and then I'm using self, number one, saying that it has to be a float, number two, that has to be a float, and then I'll be adding the operations here. So I tried outside here, and I would say that the operations can be just anything. So you would have to write this operation as a string into the function or to the class calling in order to instantiate the class calculator. After that, I try to integrate these into the class. I'm not sure that actually what I'm doing here, but at least I assume this is right. So, and I actually, before I turned on the camera, yesterday or the day before that, I tried to use AI or ChatGPT to validate or to extend this answer, and I got some sneak peeks into what I had to do, but I didn't directly copy paste them. I could have done that, but I think I would like to experiment it on my own, so I just get the feeling of using this kind of logic. It's a fairly small exercise, and what I didn't tell you is that this is not the actually purpose of exercise. Has not the purpose of creating a calculator itself, but it's the purpose of generating unit tests. And unit test is a crucial part of testing code, at least. So therefore, we're creating a calculator so we can afterwards test it with some Python testing. So let's call these self here. So referring to these, instantiating this as its own, I think as a parameter inside the class. So it's encapsulated in the class. And by this, I will try to say self dot frozen operation equals operation. And let's see what that does to it. So I don't know. I'm not sure when we run it what is going to happen. So let's just try to build on. My idea is that we somehow assure that these are contained within the operation that is that is wished by whatever calls this function or this class, instantiate this class. So afterwards, I will calling this class method. I assume that's just an annotation for saying this is in the class. So I think some encapsulating into the class. And we'll define the simple calculator operations. And I'm calling this because I think that these are the most simple. Then we can add on some other methods, perhaps the more advanced calculations. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say if So if we need a return statement. So inside to all classes, if you're not familiar with this kind of programming of methods, so I will be trying to check if this operation that has been given, that's the whole issue. We need to find the right operations for the for this method to return. So, and the product, or what do we call it, of this of these two numbers. So if operation, if self dot operation. Okay, so I assume that I have to say call self here in order to get this. So I can access the types of operations. So actually, I will try to instead. I think I will try to say that I need at least calculate operation. Okay, super. I'll just do this. So you just call the method afterwards. Assuming, but perhaps that's not so user friendly. So I think I will try to. Perhaps I should actually just make 3 different methods, and then so you call it the method inside. No, just try to stick with this. So if self dot operation frozen, we have to call self here. Frozen operation equals plus, and then I'm not sure here. I think we're going to do this, and yeah. So I'm trying to, and if self operation dot equals plus, then we have to take number self dot number 1 plus self dot number 2. So we can just say return here, actually. And else, you just say else, perhaps self dot frozen. So perhaps I can only call it once. Perhaps we should then else if self. Okay, so I'll just try to say here that our self dot operations equals operation equals a new variable. So we'll just put in operation. I think you can do this. This is not used. It's not defined. Okay, so we have to say that. I think it just would be easier, maybe just to say that we had to put operation here that equals, and then you have a number here. I think, and then for the use of it, okay, I think we'll just do remove this, and then we will have we'll have different methods for ease of use. I think we'll just do the sum, and then we'll just subtract, sum, subtract, multiply. Divide. So I'm sorry I didn't bring you the actually task, the assignment words, but it's about these, I remember. Okay, so, and you can see that before. So now we'll try to do this, and the reason I'm doing this is because I think this could be more useful for when you have to use the code actually. Now I know that this is not something that I'm going to be using, but at least I think this will be more correct. And you may write a comment to me or engage with me in any way you like it, but I think the easiest way is comment. So or send me an email if you can find my email. So if you think there's something I could do better here, or are something adjustments or things I could do better, and then I could present them in another video and trying to talk about the lessons I've learned. So what should we do here? Operation sum. So I think I shouldn't have copied this with. And what I'm doing here is just Command D. So I've just enabled that, and I think why didn't I do that before? But for copying the upper line. Okay, so let's try to do self the number. Yes, so we have the numbers, and up here it's a float, and then we're just going to be class with sum. So return self, and we have to, we maybe have to call self here, self that number 1 plus self dot number 2 and self. So I think I'm doing this. Why I'm writing all this at once? Well, I think I've read somewhere you have to listen to some LinkedIn Learning class that you have to divide your tasks into what are most similar. So I think I'm trying to work by that, trying to implement it everywhere I can do. Self the number, and that's going to be minus self dot number 2. Why don't have to do this when that's something from Java. Drawing the semicolon and return self dot number 1 multiply. I could actually just have made the number 2. So I think what I was trying to do before I did this, it was trying to be very clever, very smart, and find some very complicated solution, because I thought I was being very smart. But this is perhaps more useful. That happens sometime. Overcomplicated. Okay, so I think we now need to test this method. So let's try to. I have a lot of dogs here, Alice and Bob's. So let's try to take just calling them the calculator. So print. So why I'm just looking here, because I have to get used to writing this code again. So print calculator dot divide, and then we have to give it number 1. That has to be a float. So 2 point. Maybe you just do 2 point and 2 point. That should give 4. So let's try to run it here. What to say here? It says calculator takes 1 positional argument, but 3 were given. Okay. So how did we give the arguments up there? I could also use these lambda expressions here, but let's try to add. Perhaps I should just give, but okay. Perhaps it will cast the twos to floats whenever closed. So now I'm trying to debug this. So perhaps I should have written some tests. I don't know what's the right thing to do in test-driven development, but we were asked to generate the class. Okay, never closed here. Boom. Let's try to see. And then takes 1 position up when 3 were given. So why were 3 given? So see here. 1 position argument, but 2. It takes 1 position argument. Let's just check here what I'm supposed to do. Self the name. So wait. So I don't know, you could try code along and check if you can find the error quicker than me, but I'll just try to consult my advisor here. So let's try to give it. So I'll just try to copy paste the code into ChatGPT and just give me a quick answer here. Yeah, I do this a lot. I did also, but let's try to check here if what's kind of what way it should be. It's written. Okay, now I know. I think this calculator, yeah, that should be 2, 2, and then divide. Yeah. And method says calculator. Okay, bound method. So this is what I'm looking at, and bound method. So what did I do wrong here? Let's try to ask the genius of ChatGPT. So about the kids is your bound method printing a method reference rather than calling the method. So to fix this, ensure you call the method by including parentheses and passing the required arguments like this. Okay, so I'll just it talks about instantiating it, so let's try to do that. Calculator. But isn't that what I'm already doing? Let's try to add these. And then say I'm running it. So now I'm just gonna give ChatGPT because I think I'm not sure what that bound method error is concerning or what it's about. So let's try to see what it says here. So now I've just given it all my my code, and then I'll just try to perhaps I'm okay. I should remove the class method decorator. Okay, well, thank you very much. So everything I said about the class method, you have to reconsider. But I think it's not important here. You can see the okay. So method calculator divider of me. So still give me so that's perhaps something with the object. Okay, perhaps. But still it doesn't give me, it says here it will give me the correct if I move the class method decorator. So now I'll just ask ChatGPT to self-reflect on the answer. So just self-reflect. I haven't given it the actual code. I don't know if I can move it over there, so you can see it. I should have emphasized. Okay, so it states that it correctly instructed me to remove the class method, but then it also said I should have emphasized the distinction between instance methods and class methods more clearly. In a class method, the first parameter typically be CLS representing the class, not self representing an instance. Okay, yeah. I get it. So yeah, so. I think it's tries. I'm sort of getting it, to be honest. Instances variables. The method should not be decorated with class method removing. Okay, so self is representing the instance itself, but class is representing the class. So if I make an instance of the calculator, like for that specific calculator, self is the correct method. But if it's just a class in general, like now I'm defining it, then it should be class, at least in this class. So I'll try to remove this and see what I get, if I understood it correctly. So perhaps I could remove this and just, so I could call self, and then I could place that with CLS. See what happens. Oh wait. Oops. Okay, so calculate inner takes 2 positional arguments, but 3 were given. Okay. So now it's back to float. Okay, so now I changed that CLS, but so could you please? So I'm just checking with ChatGPT now. So saying that reflect on this code. Oh. So it says that I have to improper use of CLS, but it is mistakenly used in instance methods, and the constructor instance methods of the constructor self should be used to refer to the instance attributes. Okay, so the constructor does not properly assign the instance self the number equals number not being called correctly in the print statement. It should be print calc divided. Okay. Yeah, I'm forgetting these parentheses. Of course. There's no attribute number 1. So, okay, then I will, self here. No, CLS. Okay, let's try to do this. And now it's 1, yeah, perfect. So now we're just trying to do subtract 0, yeah, and multiply and divide. That feels great. So thank you, ChatGPT, for looking at my typos. Divide, we forget one sum. Yeah, 4. We got that one. Multiply, 4, same. Okay, so now to the funny part. No, that's true. We'll see. So I have got some. So the assignment here. So I think I will be trying to find it. So I have to write a unit test. Okay, so and that's. So we have to. Okay, so I'll just try to create a new file here, which says the unit test Python, and then I will be importing calculator. Can you do that? Import test. Perhaps I should make it public in here. I don't know if that will make a difference. I think I'll be making a window here with ChatGPT. So I'm just trying to make a new window, and let's get this going. So I think we'll just make a just unprivate this new window, and then we will do the ChatGPT. And let's try to help us how to access classes from different files in Python. So now we perhaps get the best practices. So now we can learn about a little bit of Python here. So yeah, we use this extension, and then the directory containing an init file as a package. You can organize modules into packages for better structure. So we'll just from module, yeah, okay. So we have to state the from calculator, from oh, we're in the first class. Oh yeah. From first class dot calculator import calc. Okay. And then we will try to do the okay. What circle imports? Okay, super. So unit testing, shortly it's unit testing. Well, we have to write some documentation. Unit testing is separated typically in 3 A's. So assert, arrange, because that's arranging the test. We're acting and asserting. Acting, that's why we are trying to call the methods and performing the test, and then here asserting here is finding out how that differs, passed or failed the test. It's a bit complex to me, I would say. So I will trying to try to write some code. I think that's the best way that we get going here. So we need this help, since I'm a novice in the writing these. So help me write a unit test. Okay, so I think we'll give him more instructions here. So you are a Harvard teacher, Harvard professor who excels, Harvard professor in computer science. So that's Harvard professor in computer science who excels at teaching Python to non-Python coders, but they know Java. What I come from. That could be any other Java. So always showcase the highest standards in terms of pattern, in terms of design and patterns. Okay, so you are also an Oracle in ISTQB, since ISTQB is the organization for testing, and excel at writing unit test. Help me learn unit test and act, arrange, act, and assert. So what does it give us? Yeah, so I know some unit tests from Python, but that's a long time ago. I still remember some of the concepts. I was very fascinated by that, actually, in terms of thinking before you're acting. So set up any data or state that you need to for the test. Okay, perform the action you want to test. Verify that the action produced the expected results, and that's why we give the passed failed. So any test has to pass. Oh, I think when you're testing, you assume that you cannot test everything. So you also have to think carefully what test you're implementing. But let's talk about that later or in another video. And so we have a simple calculator pass multiply house. You write. Okay, so it actually takes the multiply example, but yeah, that's perhaps a good idea. So we get an idea directly to what the context we are given now. So it uses class calculator of def multiply self. Okay, so yeah, so we have the that's perhaps a simpler way of writing it. Test calculator from unit test. Okay, so it uses unit test from calculator. That's also one of the tasks I was giving in this module, is that to research all of the different kind of unit test wiki. There's a lot of different frameworks depending on what language you're using. So I think we should use the English. Yeah, I think that's yielding us better results. Yeah, so actually we could go here and read about it. So yeah, but they are different kind of frameworks for unit testing, and supported by all different kind of languages. So I don't know, here's not the schema, but let's just go back here to our ChatGPT conversation. So import unit test, we'll do that. Unit. So this is actually built into the language, which is, it's rare. You always have to some kind of import some other packages, and here we have the unit test from calculator, from import calculator. That's what we did. Then we import calc class test calculator. So we write this class test calculator. So class test dot calculator. Okay, so you have to use, I think this is some kind of way of, method calling this. Oh, sorry, I saw it wrong. Test calculator. And then we have to insert the unit test. Unit test dot test case. Okay. And then we are semicolon that def test multiply. Okay, so def test dot. I'll try the sum. Just take another self. Calculator. Okay, so we have the calculator. Yeah, perhaps we should do the same just for the ease of reading it. So arrange. It's doing it the other way around. Okay. Yeah. So ours is a little bit different. So yeah. So we take this. So we say A equals 3, B equals 9. 3 times 9 is expected result equals 27, isn't it correct? So we just 9 times 3. Yeah. And then we have the act. yeah. So I think we'll just put in here 3 times 9. Remember these? We forgot those ones. Third. Okay, self. Assert. Equal. I think that's very familiar with Java, some of the JUnits. What they're doing. So results. That's, and then we use the expected result to compare and look fail, passed, not failed. Boolean. And then we say if name equals main. I don't know what's that about, we can read that later. So that's perhaps calling the method if name. So that's perhaps when the main method is called. It should run this test. We should have 2 equal signs. That's just that main. Okay, let's see if this works. No module called first class. That's very first in the line here. But perhaps we just can call it from calculator. Okay, right. Okay, it says okay. So the test here ran 1 test in 0 seconds. 0.00. Okay, that's great. So let's try to. I don't know if we should. Yeah, we could write the same test here, but that's perhaps 1 test, 1 method. I'm not sure we're allowed to that. So we created instance of calculator. We defined the inputs A and B. We did that from the array range. We call the multiply method the calculator instance with the inputs. We use self-assert.equal to check if the result of the multiply method matches the expected result. And then comparison with Java. So here pretty much the same. We use these more. There's more writing here. So, but import just so here you're importing the JUnits. Yeah, and then your abbreviation. Okay, test. Yeah. So you will. Pretty much the same. Let's practice unit testing. Test single responsibility. Each test should focus on a single function or method and test only one behavior at a time. Yeah, I think that's a good practice. Use a scripted test names it. Each test should be independent of others. They should not rely on the state left by other tests. If your method interacts with external database, you use mocking to simulate interactions to test remain fast and reliable. Yeah, that can take a long time, I've heard. So if to test many of the things, unit test mock to replace parts of the system under the test and make assertions about how they were used. Self.logger. Okay, so it's going to log out. Then mock here. Mock logger. Yeah, okay, so we have to... Okay, so you can do this to avoid dividing by 0. Yeah, so let's try to implement that in our function here. So how does it do that? Oh, okay, so if yeah, number 2. Now we do that in... Oh yeah, exactly, of course. Boolean here, so this to ensure we're not dividing by 0. And we have to raise by 0. Okay, we could... And we could tell the system cannot... how do you say divide? Divide. Okay. Okay. That's okay. Smart. That's how you use self. This method is called for each test increase a calculator instance. Okay, so you have you set up these tests and then assert equal for each. Okay, so I should actually be able to see we just copy paste this. Oh, yes. Sum, subtract, So let's try to run it here. Self. Okay, you have to say self that calc. Mm-hmm. Context dot exemption. Indentation. indentation. I'll just give it to ChatGPT just to look through here. Some spelling corrections. Okay, let's try to take this and run it. Five tests ran in, failed, errors 3. So I'll throw this in. Okay, it's using self. So I don't know if it's quicker this way to do it with ChatGPT, but I get some interesting results and insights into how I could do this. I assume this is correct. My math, I think that's something that's questioning here. Dividing 3 by 9. Yeah. See, that's also an issue. If my math doesn't hold up. Again, it says something here. So just take a deep breath, That's something you can do, and then carefully. Oh, it's slowing down. I think sometimes it gets like over-engaged. So I can like self-reflect. Sound efficiency. There's something I watched Andrew Engine. He explained something about writing prompts. Correctness. Basic arithmetic. Constant operations shows inefficiency in the current implementation. So what did happen now? No, I'm just running these. Okay, test. Okay, so now it's passing the test. Brilliantly, ChatGPT actually managed to write better code than me. Well, and that's just exemplifies how effective also this ChatGPT is in helping unit testing. So that's perhaps one of the other takeaways from this video. So I'll be stopping now. So I hope you learned something. I hope you found something new and watched along. So I'll be trying to, as frequently as possible, try to generate videos based on the modules I'm learning here at my software development course, and also experimenting with this AI, because I think that's what at least is being massively invested in currently. Is one of the high productivity gains is programmers together with AI, and that's what I'm reading. That's going to be the factor that you have to, or like the standard that programmers are enabled by AI in order to, for example, here better making boilerplate code, and because it can help with a lot of mistakes, as you see here. So that's at least what's also companies are investing in, and so prepare for that by using it as much as possible. Also understanding things. So I hope that I think this. I'll see if I understood it at the lecture. So thank you very much for watching. Bye bye. Till we see you next time. Stay tuned. Subscribe so you can stay frequently updated with my updates here at YouTube.